Next up, H production. Let's talk a little bit about H production category here. Let's look at some of the cars in the Class EFR. This should be a lot of fun. A lot of what you would say historic equipment that has been turned into hot rod race cars, I guess is the way to call it.
Oh, they absolutely have. And, it's changed over the years. It used to be just almost exclusively sprites.
Yeah.
And now they've added all these other cars to it. I mean, look at the grid. We've got Honda CRX. We've got the Scirocco, the MG Midget, the Golf, the Civics. Everything is out there. And, they're all running about the same times. I mean, SCCA has had to put all these cars in the class, penalize what they had to do, give guys benefits so they could be competitive cars in the same class. Now, they're more or less, they used to have a lot of production classes, and they've got rid of most of them now. They're only down to a couple, three production classes, this being one of them. And, we see some of the best racing of that weekend in this class, not high horsepower cars, but they're still pretty quick for what they run. Small engines, but most of the stuff is still in the cars. They still look like cars. They're again just above the stock classes, the touring classes. These cars have been massaged over the years to get them very fast. I mean, Austin Hilly Sprite came out in like 1959.
You get guys like that who have built cars and they continually are upgrading cars, adding more modern components, more high-tech components to the cars as per the rules. So the cars continually get better and better, even if you've had a car for 20 years.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And as it says, you don't have the fender flares, you don't have the wide cars, you don't have any of that. These cars are more or less as they came on the body itself. Underneath, the guys have changed the shocks. They've changed some other things on the suspensions. They've massaged these engines. I mean, that engine in the Midget, the Sprites have been around forever. The 510, shoot, I ran a 510 that was long time ago.
And they're still fast and still great race cars. Last year's champion, Dan Collishaw, in the Sprite, actually is the fastest Sprite in the field right now, but he's back in 7th position. Whether or not Road America is really going to lend itself to the Sprites, we'll see here today. So the drivers starting to leave pit lane right now. They'll do their one lap around the racetrack, and we'll go to green after that. But first, let's head down to pit lane to Biz.
Well, Robin, EFR, I'm sure you'll agree with me. I don't think you can emphasize it enough, but H production, what a great class to watch. And the mixture of cars in this class, my gosh, on pole we have a Honda CRX, and then a Volkswagen Scirocco, MG Midget after that, Volkswagen Golfs further down, Austin Healy Sprites, Honda Civics, MGBs, again, Triumph Spitfire. The thing I like to think about these cars, they may be 30 years old plus, and this weekend they are going to be driven as fast and as hard as they have ever been driven in their life. I think it's great to watch. A little bit of a romance in it almost, but also an awful lot of competition. It's going to be
It is going to be fun, and these cars are faster than they've ever been, because every year the guys run them, they get them faster. And it's also interesting when he says they're all different. You can see out here, you can see a late model Sprite with a bug eye front, the other one with a bug eye back, and a late model front. The guys mix and match in these cars quite a bit, and the MG Midget and the Sprite essentially are the same car.
As well, these production categories, they are really kind of a special part of the SCCA family, are they not? You get a lot of guys who are racers, so the young kids that get into some of the formula car categories or some of the sports car categories. I find that a lot of the production guys, they're car guys as well. You're not just a racer that jumps from race to race. I race a Sprite. That's what I run. I'm an Austin Healy guy. That's what I do. I've had this car for 20 years, and I keep tweaking on it. It seems to me a lot of times these guys are really passionate and emotional about their car itself as well.
Oh, they are. I think that these guys have a love for their mark, and you wouldn't be surprised to see them running down the street with a Sprite shirt or an MG shirt or a VW shirt or a Honda shirt, because these guys, they love what they do. And like you say, I think that they keep the cars for a lot of years. It's not something they say, well, I'll go race this year, and then I'll look for something else. No.
That's right.
These guys stay in this class.
One thing, too, folks, we want to mention, we do have guys going for the Super Sweep. We haven't had anybody do it yet here today, but the Super Sweep is one of those deals where if you win the national championship, you are first in overall points for your category in the nation. You've won your division, and you've won that one special race that we ran in each of the divisions. All four of those, the opportunity to win the Super Sweep. It really is a check mark saying, man, you've had an unbelievable year.
Yeah, surprisingly enough to me that we've had as many as we've had this week that have had absolutely stunning years and then come here and win the championship.
In this class here, Chris Albin starting from 4th and Bob Kelly starting from 2nd. Both drivers with a shot at winning that super sweep. Very tough. You have to have the amount of points, the top amount of points in the nation for the category as well. So just really 2 drivers with the primary shot at getting the super sweep here in this class. And interestingly, they both start in the top 2 rows. So they have a chance to go for the win, which is, of course, the biggest one to get here. You got to score the victory here at Road America to be able to have a shot at this super sweep.
Yeah, and it's amazing, too, that we have the guys that were on the podium last time, and they're down in the 6th and 7th spot that were on the podium last year, and qualified on the front row. Collishaw was on the front row last year, qualified 2nd. A feller was on the pole and dropped out on the 2nd lap, but Collishaw was gone, and now he's sitting in 7th place. That's amazing that from the front row to back in the pack the next year.
Well, I like what we said, too. It's just an entirely different racetrack. Heartland Park, Topeka, an entirely different racetrack here, and the cars that may have had a little bit of an advantage there or were able to find their way to the front there and had the performance needed there. Not so much here, a lot different here. The CRXs seem to be a very good car here at Road America.
Yeah, and now that this race is about to start, what we're going to find is this is not a class where guys go out there looking for a drafting partner all the time, like you'd see in some of the Formula classes.
True.
This class here, some of these guys have got a draft while they were qualifying, but they haven't been looking for it. Now they're going to find out what the draft really does when they get out there and get this slipstream of another car and find out, because these sedans that they've got out there, the Scirocco, is going to leave a big hole in the air that this little midget has not seen before. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle it.
Field now set, folks. It'll be Meller and Kelly on row 1, Bartel and Albin row 2, Pitts and Gopper row 3, Collishaw and Boylan row 4, Whitman and Rogerson row 5. Pace car has hit the pit lane up here to begin our final race of the morning session. It is H production. Hold on, this is going to be a good one. Manufacturers, drivers, and ready to roll. Green, green, green.
Oh boy.
Good start for that the Volkswagen Golf from the inside of 5th spot. Tim Pitts, I believe, got a pretty good launch there.
Boy, he did, and it looked like the midget just did not get off there. It looked like Bartel just got suckered at the beginning. Now he's going to have to work his way back up. He only lost 1 spot in the long run. Looked like he was going to lose more than that.
So Dan Meller into the lead. Bob Kelly jumps into 2nd spot. It's a great start for Tim Pitts in the Volkswagen Golf there. The number 11, he got a great run to the outside, was able to get by the midget of Bartel. So here we go, first time down the straightaway between turns 3 and 5. Let's see them all get into single file and start racing.
Boy, that CRX is just humming. It is out there pulling out a lead right now, and it looks like he just wants to break away right away and just not have to deal with anybody.
Well, he said he was over 2.5 seconds clear of the field when it came to time. Let's see if he's able just to get out and put some good laps in the run out in front here. This could be a deal like we saw in Formula V yesterday, where the leader just walked away, and the battle for second was the one we keyed on for the entire race.
Yeah, and it looks like they're busting up just a little bit, but it didn't seem like the draft pulled everybody together at the end of the straight like we've seen in other classes either.
Dan Meller in the 61 out to a lead in his Honda CXR, the car sponsored by Core Consulting. He's got that car out front right now, pretty good little lead. Probably 7 or 8 lengths already over Bob Kelly in the 0, the Volkswagen Scirocco.
Bartel is just hanging in there, doesn't seem to be able to make any way in his little MG midget. He's back in 5th now. Well, 4th, I guess.
Good run for Tim Pitts as he's able to hold on to 3rd. Remember, he got that great start, was able to go to the inside of Bartel as they worked their way up to turn number 1 to move back from 5th up into 3rd spot. He's really holding that position here, too. Bartel has not been able to make any moves, closing up a little bit, but has not been able to make a move on Pitts.
Now looks like he's starting around the outside, going to try and make a move down into Canada corner.
Bartel stepping it up.
Going for it. Oh, a little bit sideways there. See if he can keep the speed going through the corner. Did well. Didn't even get on the ripple strips. Good shot.
Look at Pitts trying to back up the inside, though. That's not going to give him where he needs to be, but look at Pitts around the outside. Wow, props to Pitts. What a great comeback there.
Boy, we haven't seen many passes in that spot. We've seen guys go outside. We haven't seen passes. That was a great pass.
It really was. A great move off course for Bartel to go to the inside and really defended coming out. Didn't give him the run to the inside, but just they were coming up the hill. Pitts able to get the power down, goes to the inside, of turn number 13, then looked really good as they worked their way on top.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like the draft is helping anybody here. They seem to just hang where they are. You know, you'd figure that draft would actually do something. It's not. And oh my gosh, Miller went out there the first lap and put about a couple seconds on everybody.
Yeah, we expect that to happen. He was two plus seconds quicker in qualifying. Able to fly away here right now to a 2.2 second lead. Here comes that battle right now for third spot. That's Pitts, Bartel, and Greg Gopper. Gopper in the Honda Civic right there. And then we'll go 3 wide a little further back. A couple of our sprites and midgets going at it.
In the back of that pack, I think that's Coleshaw. And I thought that he might be able to move up knowing that he was so quick before, but it doesn't look like he's able to do anything back there.
Yeah, Coleshaw just did not get a great start. Actually fell down to the 9th position, including a 2:53.2, 9 seconds back already. Just not a great start for Coleshaw, but able to get one spot here. Here's this battle for third, fourth, and fifth, I believe. Yeah, because it's still Miller and Kelly out front. This is Pitts, Bartel, and Galper. Third, fourth, and fifth position.
Yeah, Pitts is doing it. It looks like Bartel has something. He can go faster if he can get loose, but he doesn't seem to be able to get away. His car isn't super fast up the straight because he can't actually hold the draft of Pitts. But through this section of the course, he seems to be substantially faster, but isn't able to find a way around.
Dan Miller, your leader, as we said, 2.5 seconds almost the first time through to go out front here. Great opening lap for Miller, who qualified 2.6 seconds quicker than Bob Kelly in the number 0. See if Kelly's able to step it up here a little bit and go a little lower. A 2:40.4 for Miller was his fast lap. He did a 2:44.8 on his opening lap here, his outlap on cold tires. So I think Miller's going to be strong.
Yeah, well, his outlap on cold tires, I think, would put him about 5th on the grid.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Absolutely amazing. Out of the pits and immediately up to speed that nobody seems to be able to match. Not going to try it this time. Bartel's going to just hang in line there. Maybe he should try the outside in the Billy Mitchell corner, but not seem to be able to have anything for Pitts in the infield.
Yeah, even coming up out of Canada corner, Pitts is able to pull a bit of a gap, and here comes Greg Galper in the number 15, looking to the inside of the number 4. So Bartel and that midget. I got to think that Volkswagen punched a big hole in the air.
Yeah, but even so, you know, he's maybe a foot or so behind him coming onto the straight, and he can't seem to make any headway going by him. He just hangs there. But it looks like Gopper's thinking, maybe I can pull out and do it. Well, no, maybe it slowed down when I pulled out.
There's a shot of Kelly. Here comes now
Bartel at the end of the straight. Finally got it. Going to take the shot.
All right, he's got it now here, EFR. Let's see if he can hold it for this lap. We said it looked like he might have been getting held up a little bit. Already pulling a bit of a gap as they work their way down the hill here through this little kink 2 over to turn number 3. And in fact, Galper going to go down the inside of Pitts as well.
That's going to help Bartel because that's going to slow both those guys down the straight. I would thought that Bartel was going to be passed immediately down the straight. But having those guys go side by side down there is going to help him a little bit. They'll be able to pull up on him, but maybe not be able to go by.
We'll definitely keep an eye on the times they work their way through here, because whether or not Pitts has anything, or rather Bartel has anything for Bob Kelly, back by a little over 4 seconds right now. But now that Bartel's been able to get out in front here, we'll see if he's able to pull away. You can still see Bob Kelly up there in front as they work their way up through turn number 6. So it's always that thing, if you can see the guy, maybe just drive a little harder. When you can see that you're closing up on him. I've always found that that's just, you see guys get a little closer once they can see their competition.
Oh, I think that's the truth. I think that when you see a guy, there's some people that actually cannot drive fast unless there's somebody in front of them. You know, that really helps them. But, you know, and the other thing is that if Bartel has a fast way around here, look, they've closed right back up on him, which is surprising to me, actually. I thought that he would pull away in this part of the track.
Through the carousel here, this is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Ron Bartel, Tim Pitts, and Greg Galper. Greg Galper is actually right by him into 4th spot, so it's Pitts actually back to 5th. Galper now in 4th. So it's the midget and a couple Volkswagen Golfs going at it here.
Yeah, I think that...
actually, Galper's on the Honda Civic. That's the Volkswagen Golf and the Honda Civic running right there with the midget.
Yeah, but I don't think there's going to be any passing down here unless Pitts thought about it. Not going to go, but I think we'll see a change at the straightaway. But it looks like Bartel is actually quicker coming down towards Canada corner, so he's good off of the kink back there, able to hold these guys off up here. Now it's going to be able to see what. Wonder why he's not using the whole road out there and carrying the speed and not scrubbing it off. That's an interesting line he's using, Bartel.
Got a great run through from Canada corner. He's really actually very quick from Canada corner up over here to turn 14, able to pull a bit of a lead. Now let's see if he's got anything coming on the straightaway, because you know that he wasn't able to really close up too much on Galper and Pitts as they worked their way up here, but now he's finally starting to gap. Looks like he's ready to leave these guys here.
Yeah, and Pitts is getting the run. He's going to go by, and Pitts has been fast up the straight. And here we see Bob Kelly going around, just running lonely in second place, doing a great job. And out front,
let's give Dan Miller a little bit of TV time here right now, because otherwise we're not going to be watching him. He turned a 2:41.9. He was almost 3 seconds faster than Bob Kelly on that last lap. So Dan Miller just has things handled here this weekend in the CRX number 31. 7.24 seconds the gap after just 3 laps into this contest. 2:41 for Miller, a 2:44 for Kelly, a 2:46 for Bartel, and a 2:47 for Galper. So our lead group here, they're all pretty much in where they are on the track, simply because of how fast they're driving.
Yeah, watching Miller, the only way when you watch him, you're watching him by himself, because there's nobody around him. He is doing an absolutely outstanding job. And I don't know what they found in this CRX, but it's pretty amazing that they have found the kind of performance that's going to get them in this kind of lead and get them out there. It looks like we have Gary Whitman into the pits.
One of our Sprite drivers, Gary Whitman, out of Costa Mesa, California, down to pit lane.
Pulling up, no crew members there, so I don't know what's happening there. He just stopped by himself down there.
Good shot, the leader working his way out of the carousel over to the kink here right now. Dan Miller, the number 61, driver out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the Honda CRX.
Yeah, he's only turning lap times now that are about a second faster than anybody else qualified. The only time he hasn't matched is his own. And Kelly's doing some good laps. He's almost 2 seconds faster than the third place car, Bartel. So he's running well. He's just got this Miller out there who is just doing a fantastic job. But he's got the Scirocco going pretty well and looking like he's in second place pretty substantially for this thing. But Bartel is having to race for third place. These guys look like they have dropped Pitts just a little bit. But Bartel is for sure not in the home free situation yet.
Well, interesting battle here between first and second. Dan Miller and Bob Kelly both run in the Central Division. Kelly actually winning the divisional championship. Miller was second in the divisional championship. Ran 4 races, 3 wins, all 4 in the top 3 victories, but still Kelly grabbing the divisional championship. Now they're battling here again at the Runoffs at Road America, track that they do get to come to on a regular basis, running in Sendev.
Yeah, well, it's great when you know the guy you're running against, but it's interesting that Miller is just out here. Some guys don't try and win the division. They don't try and get the championship in their area. All they're interested in is qualifying for the runoffs.
He only ran 4 races, you're right.
Yeah, and just qualify for the runoffs, get the points it takes to get here, and this is the race they want to run for. So they're pointing everything towards this deal, and it looks like to me that he did a heck of a job of doing that so far.
Great battle on the racetrack here right now as well. Number 66 of James Rogerson and the number 3 of Chris Albin having a good dice there. That's for 8th position.
They're having, actually the turning, looks like right now, Rogers was a little bit faster lap time that last time out.
Let's see if Chris Albin in the number 3 can close up. Albin started in the 4th position, but has fallen back all the way to 10th position. Albin's one of the drivers with the opportunity to win the super sweep here. I don't think it's going to happen today as he's fallen back to 9th position here now. So as we said, Chris Albin in that Volkswagen Golf, it started 4th, currently running in 9th position, having just got passed by James Rogerson in the number 66. Here they are working their way back up to turn number 6 right now. Albin going to look back to the inside of that corner.
Yeah, he must have some sort of issue because he was fast in qualifying, but You know, sometimes it just doesn't work as well in the race as it had, or he could have a, like we've seen in a lot of cars here, a gearbox issue or a braking issue or something where he's just not up to speed for the race itself.
Yeah, he was a 2:43.7 in qualifying. Last time, let's actually have a look at his fastest lap for Albin at 2:50.523. So he's like about 7 seconds off what he usually does. There's got to be a major issue.
Yeah, you'd think that something must be wrong with the car. It looks like Pitts has dropped off in this race for third place. Gopper is hanging in there, but not by much. But it just mattered. They're going to cut him up with some slower cars and have some traffic issues, and we'll see how they handle that. And maybe that'll change this third place race, because as we've seen in the past here, all you have to do is have one person get in the kink at the wrong time and ruin your drive down to Canada Corner, and the position is gone.
That's number 11 of Tim Pitts, currently capping off your top 5. Pitts runs in the 5th position here now. Here comes Bartel over top. There's Galper and Pitts. 3rd, 4th, and 5th is Bob Kelly again across the line comfortably. Dan Miller down to 2:40.52, almost to his qualifying time. Out to a 13-plus second lead right now for Bob Kelly, but this is his battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Bartel kind of able to maintain this gap. He was able to pull out there. He was about 0.6 of a second quicker than Gopper that last time through, so Bartel stretching that lead for 3rd position.
Yeah, he seems to be able to get out there. Looks like the draft isn't helping the other boys right now, and he's able to turn in just a little bit quicker lap, and maybe he can solidify this 3rd place finish here shortly.
So folks, 5 laps down. Let's have a look at our top 10 before we go to a break. Dan Miller, the number 61, with a 13-second lead here in H production. Bob Kelly runs in 2nd in the number 0. Ron Bartel has taken control of 3rd in the 4. Greg Gopper now runs in 4th. Tim Pitts in 5th. Daniel Kolashaw, the reigning champion, in 6th position right now. Jim Rogerson in 7th. Chris Albert in 8th. Bill Traynor in 9th. And Terry Boylan round out your top 10. We've got H production on the racetrack. This is the last event before we head to our lunch break. Stay tuned for more live coverage of the SCCA National Championship runoffs here on SpeedcastTV.com.
This portion of the Sports Car Club of America National Championship runoffs is presented by Volkswagen.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
Welcome back to Road America as our SCCA National Championship runoffs continues. Day number 3 of our competition. We've already got 16 classes, actually 17 classes in the books from Friday and Saturday, and working our way through our morning. We've got 3 down, just this final race here in the morning as we're watching that number 61 car right there of Dan Miller, your leader here right now. I almost said winner, but he's on the way to that for sure here in H production. He is your leader by a big margin right now. Very, very quick. Actually backed it off to a 2:43 last time by. 14 seconds the advantage right now. Really right now, EFR, he could probably settle into turning 243s and be fine.
Yeah, right now he needs to just think about saving tires, saving brakes, saving the engine, and drive quickly still, but back it off a little bit, because if he backs off 2 seconds a lap, he's still faster than anybody else on the track. Matter of fact, this last lap he backed off 3 and was still a full second faster than the next guy on the track. So, he can just go out there, and his deal now is get that car to the finish. He doesn't have to outrun anybody anymore. It's just make sure he gets the finish, because he's got everybody covered by so much.
So instead of 243.5 last time by for Dan Miller, 244.43 for Bob Kelly. These two drivers have gone head-to-head throughout the year in the Central Division. But right now, Dan Miller on that CRX seems to be the car to beat here at Road America. Very strong. And he is out front, the Core Consulting number 61.
And Bartel, that time, was also in the 44s and pulled out about 1.5 seconds on Gopper in 4th place. So he's starting to get that spread way he wants it, so that he has a good shot at that podium finish.
Yeah, we said if Bartel could get in front of Tim Pitts and Greg Gopper, they were battling together there for a while, he may be able to pull away, and Bartel doing exactly that. Once he was able to get out in front of those two drivers, the Honda Civic of Galper and the Volkswagen Golf of Tim Pitts, able to get down some good laps where he might have been getting held up a little bit, not allowing to actually get his full speed. He was able to stay on the throttle and work his way up front. Now with about 2.5 seconds ahead of Greg Galper. Still watching that battle there between Jim Rogerson and Chris Albin. These guys are having a good little dice here. This is actually battle for 7th position right now. It's the 66 of Rogerson and the number 3 of Albin. And they've been going at it for the last couple of laps pretty aggressively.
Yeah, they've been swapping the positions and having an awesome race between the other cars. We've talked about the fact that Bartel and Gopper and Pitts, the cars are not going to be fast in the same part of the course. So you have to find a way to gap a guy when maybe he can be faster down the straight, or maybe he's faster down the straight. How to use the benefits of your car. And these guys are doing it well, and they're learning it in the race, because a lot of them haven't raced against these other cars, and they're having to find out how to get them. Because, as we mentioned at the classes, a lot of these guys out here really, maybe some of them never had a race all year. They're just the fastest guys in their area, and are able to run in front of them, and all of a sudden they're here and finding cars that are able to beat them in certain places which they're not used to, and they have to find a way to beat these places. This is the best race they have all year.
Now, I don't know what it is here with Albin. As we said, Chris Albin out of Missouri, that number 3 driver, the Volkswagen Golf, qualified actually at 243.795 and running around here at turning laps at 250. You got to figure there's some kind of an issue with that car to hold him back here right now. Unless, again, he's just getting held up a little bit here by the 66 of Rogerson. Rogerson turned at 249.7 and last time by at 250.3, so he's running right around his qualifying time. But as you said, Albin well off.
Well, yeah, you'd think that, but if you catch up to someone and you've got a car that qualified 7 seconds faster, you should be able to just go by him and leave. If it's 2 seconds, second half 2 seconds, I can understand getting stuck behind somebody, but when you should be 7 seconds faster than somebody, right now when he pulls in his lead, he should be able to just drive away at this time.
Let's see if that happens. This would be the deal right now. If Chris Albin could pull away here right now, as he's taken over 7th spot from Jim Rogerson, if he can start pulling away here now, then we're going to see what we would have expected out of him, turning a high 243 in qualifying.
Yeah, but right now it doesn't look like he's able to. It looks like Robertson is able to keep the draft at that time.
Good little battle there going on. That looks like the number 90 of Robert Horrell and the 27 of Bob Eichelberg. Horrell in one of the Sprites. Eichelberg having a good run here as well. So a couple of Sprites going at it.
Yeah, one with the Bug-Eye front, one with the Mark II front on it.
I love that. Beautiful race cars. Huh? Just gorgeous race cars.
They are beautiful cars. And here we're back. See, so far Albin hasn't been able to get away. It looks like Robertson's able to stay with him. Following around, coming down towards turn 8, and he doesn't seem to be getting away at all. So it's hard to understand why it's going that way. Because if he had 7 seconds on him, it just has to be something not working right, or something's wrong with aero, or he's got the tires aren't working. Something has happened here where he isn't able to go the speeds he went before.
Actually, we got some Sprites looking pretty good here right now. Mark Webber up into 11th spot, Horrell in 12th, and Eichelberg in 13th. So cars are holding on, having a good little run, looking to try to get into the top 10 here right now.
Yeah, they're doing it, and anything can happen towards the end of this race. We got Miller putting another good lap in the under a 41 again.
Here's this battle EFR. Still, Albin has not been able to pull away from Rogerson, who actually looked up the inside and canned a corner. So kind of expect him to pull away a little bit here. It's just not happening. We'll see if he does turn a quicker lap instead of 243.795 for Albin in the qualifying session. Turning laps around the 250 mark here right now, 249.79 last time by. Now he's moved up front. Maybe he can find himself another second here. And this also may just help Rogerson step it up a little bit. fact, he's going to try to go by him up the hill.
Yeah. Getting the run, getting the draft going up the hill, and Rogerson is having a heck of a run. And, you know, it's still up in a 2:51.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong when he's, that's 8 seconds off of what he was doing. Now, he may have got a draft, but, boy, I'll tell you what, get a 7-8 second draft. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no, they're together. There's contact. Both drivers together in turn number 1.
Oh, Albin tried to go underneath them, and they came together, and now they're both stuck in the sand pit. But
I think the more than stuck looks to be like a pretty beat up left front there for Albin. You see that tire is pretty jacked around there right now. So both drivers out of the race here in turn number 1. That's caught us off guard. They've been playing so nice together for the entire race. I didn't think we'd see that, but Albin tried to go down to the inside, heading into turn number 1, and heavy contact, but they're both off in the gravel trap.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty optimistic move to go that late, and I don't think that Rogerson even expected it to happen.
Back on board with our leader here, Dan Miller. 8 laps in the books here now. 8 laps in, 5 to go. Dan Miller, folks, your leader, the number 61. Bob Kelly runs in second in the number 0. Ron Bartel third in the 4. Greg Galper in the number 15 runs in 4th spot. Tim Pitts in 5th in the number 11. Dan Coleshot, your rating champion, 6th in the number 8. So that's going to put Bill Traynor up into 7th. Mike Cummings into 8th. Mark Webber into 9th. And Bob Eckelberry into 10th. Cummings, Webber, and Eckelberry all with those Austin Healey sprites. So they're working their weapon. You stay out of trouble is what they're doing.
Yeah. No, they are, and, you know, everybody else is having trouble because that moves, you know, you said they can get in the top 10. Well, they're there.
There they are. That's right.
But Miller's still putting great laps in. He's about 2 seconds faster than Kelly, and Kelly seems to be about a second faster than Bartel, and Bartel's doing about a second, a little more faster than Gopper, so it's, matter of fact, he's almost 2 seconds faster than Gopper. So it's, they're all kind of stretching out there.
Here's that fight between Bob Harrell and Bob Eckelberry going at it. Or Eckelberg, rather. Bob Eckelberg and Bob Harrell. This is 2 drivers in the sprites. This is actually for the top 10 now, I believe. This will be for 10th and 11th, I think.
Yeah, they're having a race-long battle here, and one right-hand drive, one left-hand drive, one Mark II, one Mark 1. They're going that, but that Mark 1, boy, that car has been around a long time. And actual fact is that when they first came out, they took them up to Santa Barbara in 1959, I believe it was. My dad drove one of those Bug-Eye Sprites the first race they ever ran. They ran against the MGTD at that time. Been around a long, long time.
Well, these guys are making them look really good here now, for sure. It's the number 90 of Bob Harrell leading it here. And then Bob Eckelberg in the 27.
Got to run. Looks like he's going to make a shot down towards Canada Corner. Don't know if he's up far enough, but he's thinking about it. Nope, had to pull back in line.
Harrell's going to hold on to the spot. Robert Harrell, the number 90, continues to hold back the 27 of Bob Eichelberg. 9 laps down, 4 to go, folks. Stay tuned. On the other side of this break, we're going to come back with the final laps here at H Production. It's still Dan Miller leading in the 61, Bob Kelly second, Ron Bartel, Greg Galper, and Tim Pitts capping off your Fast 5. More H Production action right around the corner here to wrap up our morning session. You are watching the SCCA National Championship Runoffs live on SpeedcastTV.com.
This portion of the Sports Car Club of America National Championship Runoffs is presented by Volkswagen.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
Welcome back to Road America, folks. The final couple of laps here. 3 more laps remaining here in our H Production category. This one here has been dominated by Dan Miller in the number 61, continuing to put down good laps, a 2:43 flat last time by. Now the margin over 20 seconds, in fact over 22 seconds now for Dan Miller, ahead of Bob Kelly. Miller in the number 61 Honda CRX, looking very good. Bob Kelly runs in second, Ron Bartel in third, Greg Galpert in fourth, and Tim Pitts in the fifth position. Kelly about 12 seconds ahead of Bartel, and Bartel a further 11 seconds ahead of Greg Galper. However, Galper and Pitts still separated by only 2.5 seconds.
Boy, I tell you what, they're not having much of they're having a really good race as far as the driver's concerned, because that's the way you want to have it happen. But on the other hand, that's
a 17 of Bill Traynor, currently running in the 7th position all alone on the racetrack. Traynor in a Scirocco.
Lifting that wheel way up in the air in the Scirocco coming around Canada Corner.
Laps winding down for H Production. Dan Miller's really just walked away with this one. We also had a quick look back there at the continuing battle between Robert Harrell and Bob Eichelberg. And Harrell's been able to take over 10th position, moving ahead in the number 90. Eichelberg kind of fallen back a little bit there in the number 27.
And they're already getting lapped by our leader.
Are they coming around?
Oh, yeah.
He's lapped up to the 12th place car. You're right. Here he is, our leader.
Through him right now.
Going to go by Eichelberg right now. That leader, I tell you, Miller is just so strong here in the CRX.
He's going to lap all the way up to the top 10. It's amazing he's going that fast.
Trying to work his way past Harrell here. Goes around the outside, coming up here to turn number 14. Gets a good run through. Harrell's going to try to stay with him, maybe get a bit of a draft and try to continue to pull away from Eichelberg.
Yep, and they're getting up now because Harrell is in the top 10 now. Lap down, but in the top 10. And Miller's going back into finishing the 11th lap now. He's backed off a lot. He got held up a lot that lap and turned a lap time, which anybody else would be happy with.
That's right. Held up and then turned to 2:45 still. Very, very quick. Here comes Bob Kelly in the number 0. Just 2 laps remaining here in H Production. This will cap off our morning session. Remember, folks, stay tuned to SpeedcastTV.com. We have 4 more races this afternoon to cap off the 45th annual SCCA Runoffs Formula Ford GT1 D Sports Racer and E Production. Another great cross section, as we said yesterday. I think they've done a fantastic job in grouping the cars together in these little groups of 4. We really get a good cross section every time we have either a morning or a lunchtime session.
It's the truth. And, you know, the diversification of the racing in the SCCA, if you can't find something here that you think you want to race, you're not going to find it anywhere, because this racing here has everything you need, from the little formula classes, inexpensive classes. If you want to spend a lot of money, they got those classes too. So if you want a car that's not too fast, you can do it. If you want a car that is a rocket ship, which we'll see later today with the GT1 cars, which have lots of horsepower. They're up around the 700 horsepower mark, and lots of tire, carbon fiber parts, awesome cars. That it's all here.
Bob Kelly running in second spot there in his Scirocco. Continuing to put down some good laps here. Dan Miller well out front, though. Miller, Kelly, Bartel, Galper, and Pitts, your top 5.
And in 6th place is Kolashar, last year's winner, who just doesn't seem to have it here at Elkhart Lake this weekend. His car doesn't seem to work quite as well on this track with the long straights and the long track. So I'm sure that he will go back and work on that to see what he can do to make his car more competitive for the next time he comes out to Elkhart Lake.
There's Bartel in the number 4 machine, the MG Midgets. He's had a pretty good run. You know, he got challenged early on, had to work his way by both the Golf and the Honda CRX, or Honda Civic rather, to be able to get this position. But as we expected, once he got out front, got settled in, he was going to be able to pull away now comfortably in the third position.
Yep, he's got nobody to race with either right now, but his first part of his race was pretty stressful, actually, because with those 3 cars of Gopper and Pitts and himself going at it and switching positions. And the fact is that it became racing side by side. And as we saw them right in this spot right here, he was passed on the outside by Pitts, but was able to get by and make a good race of it after that. But right now, it seems like on the long run, he seems to have a better handle on it. And his lap times have been 1 second to 2 seconds faster than Gopper and Pitts ever since he got away from him.
12 laps in the books, final lap on the racetrack for Dan Miller in the number 61, looking to bring it home here. Miller will work his way out of turn number 3, a flawless performance thus far. The class of the field, no doubt, here in H production, as he still remains at least a second plus, almost 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field here. 22 seconds the advantage right now, and he's lapped his way up to the
ninth place
car, I think.
Yeah.
Ninth place car. Wow.
Yeah.
Closing up on Mike Cummings as well here in that yellow number 32 machine. So,
boy, it's tough when you can finish 8th and be lapped in a 40-minute race.
That's true.
Shows how fast this guy's going in this CRX. He has got that thing going so fast, and he's backed off his lap time, and he's 22 seconds ahead. That's just absolutely amazing, because quite often this class is just really so close, but somebody finds something, gets a car that really works, and get to a track where this little car obviously works very well on these straightaways and the way this Elkhart Road America track is laid out, where he may not be as fast at a little short track somewhere else. This car really works here, and now everybody's going to have to do their homework. You're used to racing a little bit shorter track without the long straights, and everybody's going to go home after this race and decide what they need to do for the next shot out.
That's the thing. We're really looking forward to see what happens next year, because it is going to be a different ball game for sure. We may see a lot of different combinations, or these cars that are tweaked a little bit here and tweaked a little bit there. Here's our final couple of corners here, folks. This guy here probably won't have to make a lot of changes to his car. The Honda CRX still very strong here at Road America. Dan Miller, 22 seconds was the advantage last time through. He's going to bring it around here to the final corner to score the H Production National Championship.
He may not want to change it, but his biggest worry now is whether SCCA wants to change it.
That's true. That is definitely true. This has been a dominant performance here for Dan Miller in the Honda CRX. He'll pull it up the hill here. Final lap on the racetrack. The checkered flag will fly at start-finish line. Your national champion in H Production, Dan Miller, in the Honda CRX number 61. Here comes the 0, Bob Kelly, your Central Division champion. Going to take second here in the runoffs in the Scirocco, as he'll bring it up the hill here right now. Bob Kelly in that number 0. Right the way they qualified. Miller was pole, Kelly was second, and that's the way they're going to finish on the racetrack as well.
And a good finish for Bob Kelly. That was great. And Rob Bartel can be really proud of his finish too, because he had to fight very hard for it. Here he comes up the hill in 3rd place. Great finish for that little car. The MG Midget, which is still a great looking car.
There he is. Number 4 of Ron Bartel, capping off your top 3. Greg Gopper and Tim Pitts. Expecting them next coming through here, as they had a pretty solid drives themselves. Copper there in the number 15 Honda. Tim Pitts looking to try to cap it off the top 5 here. Good run for Tim Pitts. He started 5th and finished 5th. And it'll be Dan Colashaw and Bill Trader to cap off the drivers who were actually able to stay out in front of Miller, who absolutely laid one down. There's Colashaw coming through here. Dan Colashaw and his Sprite coming through for 6th spot, so the reigning champion back to 6th place this year. Just a couple drivers left to go to come across here. The 17 of Bill Trainer will be your final driver to work his way through here.
Yeah, there's, I think that the main thing you're going to look at now is everybody looking to see what they can do for next year. Being the first year here, and some people had never even run here when they got here, to find out how their car worked, how the car didn't work, and some of them were able to get it straightened out, some weren't. Some cars, you may even think, if you're going to stay in a class, of switching cars for next year to get the car you want to run here because of the difference in the tracks.
True enough, this is definitely a track that has been well, or at least well suited for the Honda CRX. They've had some good runs in a couple of classes here right now. Let's see what we've got for the last couple of sessions. Let's go to a break here right now if we possibly can, and as our driver does his cool down lap, Dan Miller. We'll wait for him on the other side. So, folks, stay tuned. We have our interviews with our top 3 drivers in 8's Productions. We get set to go here. Finally, wrapping up the morning sessions here at Road America. This is the SCCA National Championship Runoffs, live on SpeedcastTV.com.
This portion of the Sports Car Club of America National Championship Runoffs is presented by Volkswagen.
Kid, where you been?
Just got back from an SCCA event.
Really?
Yeah, SCCA has more than 2,000 events every year.
Serious?
Go to SCCA.com and find people in your area that drive fast and get their hands dirty. And you don't have to be a supercar to compete.
So I go to SCCA.com, sign up, and I can start competing?
It's that easy.
All right, folks, back here at Road America, just in time to see Dan Miller work his car up here onto pit lane. He is your national champion in 8's Production in that Honda CRX number 61, the Core Consulting back entry. He'll bring the car down here to the pit lane where our man John Bizignano will get a chance to speak with him. Bottom line, just a dominant performance both by the driver and the car, EFR.
It was actually, if there's such a thing, there's more than a dominance performance, because he just had it on everybody right from the start. You know, he just took off first lap, couple of 3-second lead, and just stretched it from there. I mean, it was awesome. And what a beautiful little car too. I mean, it's a well-prepared little car, and obviously mechanically and everything else, it is great and well driven. He did a good job in the car as well, so that we never saw him make a mistake. You know, and when he came up to go by slower cars, he took his time. He didn't rush through. He did everything he had to do to win this race.
Margin of victory, 22.84 seconds, and we're going to have a talk with him right now. Your champion in 8's Production, Dan Miller, down there with Biz on pit lane.
Dan, congratulations. You dominated qualifying. You dominated the race. What everyone wants to know is, how did you make this car so fast, besides the excellent driving, of course?
Well, actually, I have to say most of the work goes to my father, Mark Miller. He's the one who put this thing together. It was my idea to build this car. I saw the potential in the class, and he worked his magic on it. I had my own ideas too for it, but really all I had to do was drive it. He was the brains behind this thing.
Well, when you were thinking about it, I mean, my gosh, you're a local boy. Okay, you're from Milwaukee, and here you are at Road America you lapped all the way up to like 6th or 7th place. I mean, that's a total domination of the class and of the track.
Well, it didn't seem like I passed that many people. There must have been a lot of attrition. But, yeah, it's a fast car, and I know this track real well, so it was a good combination, a good set of circumstances.
Congratulations on that gold medal. A great championship.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, he's going to get the gold medal from Bonnie there, and we're going to move back to our 0 car. Talking to Bob before the race, he said, well, I've beaten that car up there before a couple times, but this weekend it's going to be tough. You just had no legs for the man.
No, Danny just ran away and hid, and I beat this thing as hard as I could to try to catch him, but there was just it was his day. It was his day for.
Well, it's been your day here before. The June sprints, you won in 07, you won it in 08, but my gosh, there was just no way you were going to catch it.
No, it's from the beginning. I think he opened up about a 2-3 second gap, and then he just kept motoring away. And the car ran great. Our Goodyears were wonderful, and my partner Dick Gallardi built a heck of a car. So I'm very pleased to be in the position that we're in.
Congratulations on a great second place and a silver medal.
Thank you very much.
All right, third place, the man with more action than anyone in this race. Certainly had to work for his position. Ron, congratulations on that third place finish here. Talking to you before the race, you weren't so sure what was going to happen, but boy, you had to work for this position.
Yeah, I definitely had to struggle the whole race. It was tough keeping up with the hometown guys. They know the track pretty well, and the cars went really fast. So I had my work cut out for me, but I did my best.
When you were passing back and forth in that group of 3 going for third place, where did you have the advantage on them?
At the end of the straight in turn 5, I could outbrake them, and they never really did get up beside me on the draft. I was a little surprised. Maybe I got a little better shot out of 3 or something, but that was where I got them usually.
First time in Elkhart Lake and a bronze medal. Congratulations. That takes a great car and a great driver.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right. It's in the books, guys. H production for this year is over.
A pretty serious run up front by Miller. 3 seconds faster in the fast lap than Bob Kelly. 240.524 to 243.575. That car is a rocket. And Dan Miller, as you see there, your unofficial results from the top 12. Dan Miller, your winner. Bob Kelly in second. Ron Bartel in third. Greg Gopper and Tim Pitts. Good battle there. Gopper ended up coming out in fourth. The Pitts in fifth. Dan Kolashai, your reigning champion, sixth here today. Bill Trainer in seventh. Mike Cummings in eighth. Mark Webber in ninth spot. 44 career starts now in the SCCA Runoffs. The all-time leader in career starts. He's able to bring his Sprite up into ninth spot. Robert Harrell Jr. into 10th. Bob Eichelberger and Johann Kraus rounding out your top 12. Following post-race technical inspection, it was determined that second-place finisher Bob Kelly was out of compliance, promoting Ron Bartel to second place.